Hey, here we are again at Radio City. This time, five people will be competing to win a huge prize, a trip to Miami. The best story of childhood will win a very huge prize that is a trip to Miami with all pay. So, let's start with Juan Diego and his story.
I think that soccer is my thing because when I was 4 years old, my parents gave me my first soccer ball and my first soccer shoes. So I start playing like I already know how to play soccer. Then I practice with my dad in a backyard of a house that we lived when I was at that age. I practice with him like every weekend, and that until I was like 7 years. And then I started like practicing by myself, also in that backyard. And this is a passion that I share with my father and all my family, but more direct with my father because I now play with him in a team. So this is a special moment for me. I started, as I said, already said, when I was 4 years old, but I keep going. When I was 9, I entered to the my school soccer team and make a good representation. My father was really proud of me, and I keep with this scene and until these times.
It's a wonderful story, Juan Diego. Let's go with our next participant, Hani Villegas, with her title, That's It. Child, you just don't measure things, you just live it. So let's hear her.
When you're a child, you just don't measure things, you just live. On May 19, in the year 2006, in the canton of Atacames, province of Esmeraldas, I was at the first birthday party of my closest cousin, Maria Paula, who at the time was a tanned baby with big eyes and a little chubby. But anyway, I was in my uncle's house. It really was a big, old-looking house, but very pretty. I like it a lot and I visit it every weekend with my family. But anyway, back to my story. At that time, I was 5 years old, so no wonder in this occasion I was more excited than usual, so I will go to a party. It all starts when, in the middle of my cousin's birthday party, the clown decides to make a contest in which whoever gathered more serpentines won. For what I decided to win, and I wanted to gather as many serpentines in the shortest time possible. Everything was going well until I decided to pick up one of the serpentines that was under a wooden sideboard. Wanting to do it in a hurry, I didn't realize that one of the drawers was open. When I got up, and no I hit myself very hard. My grandmother, when she heard my screams, came to see me and realized that I had broken my head and I was bleeding too much. In view of that, my aunt, who is a nurse, healed me and solved all the drama in a matter of seconds, and the party continued. From all this, I learned that it will be always more important to be careful than to win, and that I was really lucky not to have finished worse.
Thanks, Hani. That was a little bit sad. Let's continue. So, the next participant is Fausto. Let's hear his story.
I always listen to your mom. I don't know why, but your mom is always right. And you say she's a witch or what? It is never too much to listen to the warnings of someone who loves you, and especially if it is your mom. But when we are children and we see and feel things differently, or at least that was my case, it was very insistent. When I was 8 years old, I lived in a neighborhood called Carcelen, in a small house next to a square. I always had the habit of finishing homework and then going out to play around the neighborhood with my friends, getting home to watch some television and then to sleep. One week I had a lot of homework and I couldn't go out play as usually every day after finishing my homework. And it was because I was very busy and finished late doing my homework. One Friday of the week, I finished homework late, but I wanted to go out for a while and ride a bike. My mom said it was too late and something could happen to me. She didn't give me permission. I insisted so much that she had no choice to let me out. That night, the driver of a car didn't look at his rearview mirror and gave it to a boy who was riding a bicycle. That day, I learned that I should always listen to my mom and stop being an insistent.
You learn that they're a huge experience and you learn to listen to your mom. So here is our next participant, Erika Moreno. Are forever, or at least that was what I thought. I remember playing all day at the park of my grandma's condominium every day after school. It was huge, green, had games, and also a little house where I used to play. I used to play every day in the afternoons with my friends, and I had one best friend whose name was Nicole. I used to tell her all my secrets and play with. But there was a kid I found very attractive and was my crush. I told her this, and later that day, when I went to my house, she told him and kissed him in the cheek. I learned that day that you cannot always trust on everyone. So, Erika, let me tell you, that wasn't your friend. So let's say sorry to Francisco and listen to his story.
Hi, Erika. Thanks for taking my call. I think people really don't call by my name. They usually use a nickname for me. When I was 2, my mom traveled to Spain and I stayed with my uncles in my grandfather's farm. They called me Steven because one of my uncles liked it. One morning, some files arrived at the house where I was living with my grandfather, who was used to calling me Steven. Those files came from civil registration and contained information about me. My birth certificate said that my name was Francisco, and of course, my grandpa was really confused about it, so he called my mom. During kindergarten, my little friends knew my name, but they started calling me Panchito. I didn't like it because I thought that nickname was for shitty people. After that, I realized it was only a nickname to Francisco. What I learned from this experience is that it doesn't matter what people call you if they do it with respect and affection.
Thanks, Francisco, for sharing your childhood story. So, the winner is Hani. She had the best story of the 5 participants. So, Hani, congratulations! You have the best story and you have won the trip to Miami. And also, your story will be published in the best article magazine of the country. Congratulations!